Hi there folks, welcome to RRTV. Tonight we're here once more to cover the Star Mazda Australian Championship, and we're broadcasting from Virginia International Raceway. So I'd like to welcome back to the commentary box after having a bit of a slack holiday last week, Mr. Chris Bean. How you going, Chris?
Thanks, Bernie. I'm going pretty well. It was a good break. I noticed that you had a break too last week.
Yeah, mate, I was under the weather last week with a bad back, so, we missed out.
I will make up for it tonight then, eh?
Yeah, let's try. Anyway, having a look at Virginia International Raceway, it's quite an interesting track to say the least. The track length is 5.26 kilometres. Tonight's race will be 20 laps. Again, they'll have one mandatory pit stop from lap 3, the start of lap 3. They have to take fuel, but tyres are optional. Again, the incident limit tonight is 35. For those of you not familiar with the incident limits, if there's car contact, it's normally 4 points. If they go off the track, it's normally 1, and if they spin, it's 2 points. If they get to 35 points or more, they will be disqualified. So, Chris, have you had a chance to drive a Star Mazda around here yet?
No, I haven't had a chance this week, but I wish I did because I love the track and I love the car. So, unfortunately, I'm going to just be watching this one, and I'm not really going to know what it's going to be like in the seats for these guys. So, it's a great track, very twisty, a couple long straights as well, so you might see a bit of drafting. I can't wait to see this race. This is the second last race of this season, so a couple of new guys as well, Bernie.
Yeah, definitely. Having a look at the overtaking, which you touched on a bit, it's quite interesting, Chris. It looks like they will be able to overtake going into turn 1 into the horseshoe through probably turn 2, but then I think it's going to be single file from turn 3 up to around about turn 10. What's your thoughts on that?
Yes. Plenty of there is still a lot of overtaking opportunities on this track, but just through those little between turns, what is it, four all the way up to around turn 9, 10. They'll probably just keep tucked into each other and just sort of feel each other out and sort of try and get a run on the car in front, coming onto those long straights.
Yeah, definitely, and as you'll see in a moment, folks, I did a bit of a lap around here to show you what it is like in the Star Mazda, and I must say, Chris, it's absolutely crazy from Snake and all that twisting 7, 8, 9 right up to 10. You can take it pretty much flat out in the Star Mazda.
Oh yeah, the car's got heaps of aero, and I love it. I love the track. This is going to be a really good race tonight.
Yeah, definitely, and even coming into the Southern Bend in the McLaren, I'm used to dropping into 4th, but the other night I was taking that gear, dropping down into 5th, and at one point stayed in 6th. So heaps of aero, but as you said earlier, Chris, once I get past Oak Tree, turn 12, that big long back straight, I think we're going to see a lot of drafting all the way right up there to turn 14. Of the roller coaster, so folks, keep an eye on that, because if they get a tow up that hill, there'll definitely be some passing going on going into turn 14 and 14A.
That's right, Bernie, and not only that, but whilst the draft will help you, it's also important to get a really good exit line out of the what's the tree there at the top of the coming onto that back straight. So if you can get a good line and you're nice and close to that car in front, you can get a really, really slingshot tow. Basically, it'll slingshot you straight through, and you could even take 2 positions if you're lucky enough.
Yeah, definitely. I really like this track. It's a really exciting track, and I think it's going to be extremely exciting to watch the Star Mazdas around here tonight. Having a look at the weather, it's rather interesting. We've got partly cloudy today. The air temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. The track temp's 36 degrees, so it's reasonably cool. The interesting thing is there's absolutely no wind out there today at all, so it's extremely still, to say the least. All right, folks, we'll take you for a spin around the track in the Star Mazda, so enjoy the ride. Lap around here tonight. Basically, the track is 5.263 kilometres in length, and it has 17 turns, lots of undulations, and it's a lot of fun in this car. So let's go for a lap around VIR. Just coming down onto the main straight now. Up to fourth through here. Down to third. Second. Now we're coming up to the snake, as they call it. Flat out through here. Again, flat out here, don't lift. Fast as the car can go. I lifted a bit and messed that corner up, but coming down to Oak Tree now. That tree doesn't exist in real life anymore, but thankfully we've still got it in iRacing. Coming up the back straight now. If the guys can get a tow here, they're going to make up a lot of time as we come up flat out now into the roller coaster. Down to third, and flat out. So you can see on this track, in this car, you're flat out for most of the lap, apart from the tight corners.
1 minute 51.493.
So to give you an idea of times, we did a 1:51 where 6 seconds off the fastest lap. The fastest guys will do this in 1:45. So thanks for jumping on board, and hope you enjoy the broadcast. See you later. Sorry folks, I had my microphone muted. As I was saying, having a look at the driver standings at this moment, with only 2 rounds to go, it looks like Dylan Shepherd has this championship pretty much wrapped up with 253 points. Josh Burden is looking fairly comfortable in 208 points, but he'll want to do well tonight anyway to cement that second spot. But the real interesting part is between Chris Johnston and Dean O'Brien on equal 177 points, and Paul Nelson with 168 points still has quite a good chance really of getting into the mix for that third position, Chris.
Yes, Dean O'Brien and Chris Johnson are on par with each other in terms of championship points, but not saying that Chris Johnston won't take that from Dean, but Dean does have quite a bit of pace, so we'll just have to see how the next two races play into each other's hands, not forgetting that there is drop rounds in play as well, so that might favour Dean O'Brien a little more than Chris.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see once the drop rounds come through, but having a look at the team championship though, this is still all up for grabs. I think One Performance Racing has taken the lead with 119 points to Mercury Sim Sport with 105 points, Chris.
Yeah, I think there was actually, I think Mercury Sim Sports, I think their drivers had a bit of a holiday either last round or the round before, so they'll be looking to make amends there and definitely get a few team points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got 2 minutes left of qualifying, folks. So we'll cut across now live, and we'll update you on what the positions are at this stage. So it looks like at the moment, Chris, Dean O'Brien has first provisional pole at the moment with a 145.5. Craig Jones looks like he's in second, just 0.05 of a second down. Third, Josh Burden. I'll tell you what, Chris, between second and third, they're really close.
Oh yeah, there's only 500s between them and 5/10 between Dean and Craig there, and if you look at all those times right from second all the way down to around sixth place, there's less than 2/10 of a second between them. So it'll be great. I don't think there's too many places on this track that like we're going to see in previous rounds where you're going to have a lot of incidents. I really think we'll have a good race tonight, and I hope so too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely hoping for a good race tonight because I think the Star Mazda is really well suited to this track.
Yeah, that's right. It's not the fastest car on the service by any means, but it grips well. It's got a lot of pace, and a car like this on this kind of track, it flows really nice, and it's a joy to drive. I'm sure these guys are going to have a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I did notice with driving in the Star Mazda around here, apart from the tighter areas, it almost felt like a bit like a momentum track, really, because you've got so much pace and you don't really wash it off going into Southern Bend there, where with the GT3s and the others, you really have to lift through that part of the track.
I think you nailed it there, Bernie. It is probably more of a momentum track. The cars, but they probably are slightly underpowered for the amount of straights and stuff that we've got on this track. But in saying that, it'll make the racing really, really interesting, and also make the drivers, if they want to make a move, they've got to keep it, keep that move stick as such, because one little mistake or if you run wide out of a corner, and they've got you on the next lap. So it's going to be a good tight racing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. As we have a look now, Dean O'Brien going across the start-finish line for the last time to finish his qualifying. So we'll just wait for the rest of the drivers to finish up, and we will be gridding for the race. So it's quite interesting, Chris. Dean O'Brien's he set the fastest lap during qualifying with a 145.5. So that's a really good a good lap.
Yeah, he's actually the only driver into the 145s, so he's definitely showing his pace tonight, and probably really looking for another One Performance Racing win for the team.
Yeah, definitely they'll want to stretch that team championship lead, that's for sure, over Mercury Sim Sports.
Bernie, have we got the grid there, the standings? You want to run through them?
I can try and go through the grid. I'll just let's see. I normally don't have a lot of luck with the grid and these overlays.
Well, I might just run through the top 10. We've got a couple seconds left before green lights. So, in first place, in pole position, Dean O'Brien. In second, Craig Jones. Third place is Josh Burden. Fourth place, Brad Newman. Fifth place, Jason Dixon. Sixth place, Trent Thomas. In seventh, we've got Darren Vouch. In eighth place, Dylan Shepherd. Now, that's a surprise. Resident winner for the last couple of rounds. And he's only in position 8, so he's got a bit of work to do. In ninth place, we've got Scott Stevens, and rounding out the top 10, we have Dave Oliver. He's a newcomer tonight, and he'll be looking to really put his stamp on this race tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And back at 11th spot, we've got Chris Johnston. 12th, we've got D. Francis. Sam Katakuzinos is 13th. Ian Robertson is starting from 14th. Paul Nelson, 15th. So we can see Chris Johnston and Paul Nelson, who are fighting for third, have a lot of work to do tonight, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. And all they really need to do is bring the car home for a good finish. You don't want to be fighting in for scraps and ruin a race potentially. So they want to keep their noses clean and run a really good race.
Yeah, definitely, especially because Dean O'Brien is on pole. So he's definitely in the box seat tonight to capitalise on third. Having a look further back through the grid, we have Rick Burt in 16th. 17th is Vince Browning. 18th is Jay Smits. Darren Lesu 19th. Rick Summerhays is starting out of 20th position. 21st is Andy O'Brien, and rounding out the 22 tonight we have Jake Maloney.
Another field of 22 drivers, Bernie. It's a good turnout.
It definitely is, as the lights are about to come on, folks. So the revs will be rising very shortly. The lights are on now. The revs are building, waiting for the green light. Green light, off we go. Dean O'Brien's taking the lead at the moment, followed by Josh Burden on the inside of, I think it's Trent Thomas there, Chris.
Yeah, and they're coming into turn 1, and Craig Jones, he's run wide, and I hope everyone can keep out of the way.
As Dean O'Brien takes the lead with Josh Burden in second at the moment. Brad Newman looks like he's up to third with Jason Dixon, as we have one of the sim racers. I think that was Josh Burden running wide back there, Chris.
Yeah, it looks like he got a bit squirrely there, and it's cost him a couple of places. I think he's sitting back in about 6th position now.
We've also had a car roll coming into the Snake. I think that might have been Brad Newman. We'll just grab just see if we can grab a replay of that. Okay, as we're following now, Brad Newman coming into the Snake. Oh boy, he's coming close. Oh yeah, he got collected big time. Rolled over into the fence. I think that's that's his race done tonight, Chris.
Hopefully he can get back to the pits and get that quick repair and get back out there, because that's first lap blunder there, and looked like he made contact with another competitor.
Yeah, that car was totally undrivable, and he's now in the pits getting a tow and getting that quick repair. So we'll jump back to the action, folks. So as things start to hopefully settle down a little bit, we have Dean O'Brien in front. He's built a heck of a big lead with all that carnage. Chris is 2.9 seconds over Dylan Shepherd.
That's insane. He's going to walk away here. I hope he has some challenges, because it might be a boring race otherwise.
Yeah, well, it's just all the competitors just dropped by the wayside. We saw Craig Jones run wide and get swamped, Josh Burden unusually running off the track, and then Brad Newman being turned over. So it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, and just another one of those people that got caught up there is Chris Johnston. He actually ran wide, and he's now fighting basically at the back of the pack to keep in this race. So he's got a bit of work to do to hold on to that third position in the championship, and well, he's got another 19 laps to do it in, so plenty of time.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time, but with Dean O'Brien taking the lead of this race, as we have a look at that replay, both drivers ran wide there, Chris.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe the tyres are a bit cold, and I don't know, maybe there's a couple of nervous foots there, and I'm not sure, but hopefully now, 2 laps down, we should be able to carry on and continue with this race. It's a long race. It's another 18 laps. Oh, we've got another sim racer off the track there on the main straight.
Yeah, that was I think that was Scott Stevens running wide there as Josh Burden came through to lap him. So having a look at our top 5 at the moment, folks, we have Dean O'Brien out in front, about to lap Brad Newman, who's just come out of the pits. He's got a 2.9 second gap over Dylan Shepherd. Dylan Shepherd has already another 2.9 second gap over third place Craig Jones in the GT Monster Star Mazda there. Fourth is right behind him is Darren Vouch. So there's a great battle here between Craig Jones, Darren Vouch. Josh Burden's involved in this battle, folks, so we'll stay on this as they go 2 wide down into Southern Bend, coming into the oak tree now. I'll tell you what, Craig's starting to feel the pressure there from Darren and Josh, Chris.
Yeah, they're hot on his toes, but Dylan Shepherd, where did he come from? He's missed all that carnage at the start, and he's in second position. What do you make of that, Bernie?
That's absolutely crazy. I did not expect that to happen at all. If you had told me this is what we were going to be like 2 laps in, I'd have probably laughed at you before the start of this race.
That's right, and we've got a really good, really long train here of cars battling for that third position. It's anyone's game here. You got Darren Vouch in there, Dylan Francis. Haven't heard that name before. Dave Oliver's in there, showing his paciness, and a couple of guys driving into the pits now too to get that compulsory pit stop out the way.
Yeah, that's right. The pit window has just opened. Well, it opened really last lap, so you're right there. They're jumping in early. Especially if they're buried in the field, they might be looking for clean air there.
Yeah, and we just saw Sam Katakuzinos just run wide on turn 1 as well. So I think he's lost probably 2 positions there, and he's been looking racy as well. So have to keep our eyes on him, and he'd be definitely looking for a top 10 finish for sure.
Yeah, definitely. The other winner out of all this really was Paul Nelson. He's already up into 7th spot. I think he started down in about 12th or 13th, Chris.
Yeah, he actually it's funny you. I was just about to say Paul Nelson has made a good move as well because he actually started in P15, so he's made up a lot of spots. He's currently sitting in seventh, and he's only 12 seconds off the lead. So he's definitely got probably about 2 seconds or so off this battle pack for third place. And with draft in play, he might be able to just catch up and be a contender there as well. So don't write him off.
Definitely not. With Dean in the lead at the moment, he's definitely going to take third at this stage. But Paul Nelson, I think, is going to be catching Chris out of this race because Chris Johnston is down in 19th at the moment and having a pretty horrendous race, I must say.
Oh yeah, it was dreadful, and he ran wide coming into one of those last corners there on that first lap, and it's really cost him. He's now 43 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. And at the moment, we've only had one driver go down a lap, and that is Brad Newman, which was involved in that accident and had to get towed back to the pits. I tell you what, Dean is absolutely flying. He's pulled out a gap now over Dylan Shepherd of 5.3 seconds in 4 laps.
He wouldn't have practiced, surely. Nah. His blistering pace is absolutely killing everyone. And by this speed, he's going to lap every car on the track.
I reckon, and he's already posted a fastest lap of 1:44.864, so that's faster than his qualifying time.
That's faster than his qualifying time by 7/10. And what's this guy on?
I don't know, but I think I want some of it.
I don't know. I have to get the scrutineers on his car. He's probably cheating somehow. Sure, his pace is so fast, and his teammate, basically championship leader Dylan Shepherd's got nothing to battle him here with. So, what are you gonna do? Well, what would you do if you're in Dylan's boots right now?
Well, I'd probably be calling multi-21 or something like that, but we know that we know after speaking to Dylan a few weeks ago, Dean and Dylan are very competitive. They don't do team orders, so I reckon this is going to be Dean's race unless something happens.
Yeah, I think Dylan could afford it, couldn't he?
Oh yeah, he's pretty much wrapped up the championship, and his competitor Josh Burden is back in 4th at the moment, so he's going to stretch his lead if anything. So I think this could be Dean's race tonight.
Yes, Steph. Oh, we'll just have to see how it goes. We know that Dean has had some unfortunates in the past with a couple of races, but I don't think there's too many dangerous curbs or walls or anything around this track to get involved in. So, fingers crossed for his sake, he can pull it off and take the win.
Yeah, definitely, and we've seen in the past Dean has had some unfortunate incidents with a couple of drivers, so no fault of anyone's, it's just racing, so hopefully he won't have any problem there tonight. Lapping cars, as we have a look now, Josh Burden in 4th, and he's starting to take the blowtorch to the back of Craig Jones.
Yeah, I was actually just going to try and point you out to these little battle, and Josh takes the inside line there, and he's pulling through. He got the slingshot and he's made that move stick. So Josh moves up into P3 and Craig falls back into P4. But in that little battle as well, I believe Darren Vouch also made a move on Dylan Francis. So Darren's going to move up into 5th position, and that pushes Mr. Francis back into 6th. We actually got a car coming into the pits here.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't sure if that was Josh Burden. It is Josh Burden.
It is Josh Burden. So, not sure. It's probably strategy. Maybe he wants to get away from these drivers and away from any drafting and just put in some nice clean laps. We'll just have to see how that pit stop strategy works if it works in his favour or not.
Yeah, well, that's right. We'll have a look at where he's come out. I'm just trying to find him.
He's come out in about P9 there.
Yeah, and he's come out pretty much by himself, which is he's got a car behind him. I think it could be it's Andy O'Brien in 10th. But having a look at the times, Josh was the faster driver at 1:45, where Andy's doing 1:48, so I don't think he's going to have any problem there. Looking up further, he's got a good 7 seconds gap, so I think he's pulled out onto the track where he'd want to be at this stage.
Yeah, and he just can put in some nice qualifying laps. He won't have draft, but that probably won't hurt him too much. What could hurt more is that battle between Craig Jones, Darren Vouch, and Dylan Francis. They're all neck and neck with each other and all trying to steal draft off each other. So if those three do battle a lot and cause themselves to slow down, it'll only play into Josh Burden's favour here.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's what he's probably looking at doing, getting out of that battle pack so he can put in those fast laps, because he really does need to be able to put in consistent fast laps if he's going to catch Dylan Shepherd at this stage.
I was just about to say that too. If he can put in some good times, he might actually be able to challenge Dylan Shepherd for that second place podium position.
Yeah, it'll be quite interesting because Josh was probably 3/10 faster than Dylan, so if he can do that consistently, we may even see an undercut working when Dylan pits tonight.
Yeah, that's right. There's still 12 laps to go, so it's still anyone's game there. And second and third position is definitely the golden prize tonight. I think Dean O'Brien is. Well, as much as you could say, he's pretty much wrapped it up already. So he's already 7 seconds in front of Dylan. That's amazing. That's almost a second per lap quicker than his championship leading teammate.
Yeah, definitely. The last lap, he was 7/10 faster than Dylan. We're just having a quick look at Rick Burt. Something must have happened to poor Rick tonight because he's now 2 laps down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Rick got caught up in a bit of altercation there. I did notice that he's got a teammate in the series tonight, Rick Summerhays. So I probably missed any incident that Rick Burt may have had, but that's harsh. He was really coming good. I think he had a couple of top 10 placings in the previous races, so that's going to hurt. But what do you do?
Yeah, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess, but we don't have any incidents of him going off the track, so I'm just not sure exactly what has occurred for Rick, but he'll regather and be back stronger next week.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what it's all about, is just getting back in the seat and having another go. It's a fun series. We're not racing for sheep stations by any means, but just keep going and have fun.
Yeah, definitely. So we're having a look at who has pitted at the moment, folks. So Josh Burden is in 9th. He pitted with a 10-second stop. It looks like Dave Oliver has done a 0.1 of a stop. My watch must be wrong there, or my overlays. Jason Dixon's also stopped with 11.2. Chris Johnston did a 2.3 second stop. Scott Stevens 9.9. Darren Lessu stopped 9.2. The longest stop was Ian Robertson with a 15.1 second. How the heck would you do a 0.1 second stop?
I'm not sure. Who was that again? Dave Oliver?
Yeah, Dave Oliver back in 11th. He must have just stopped and thrown in like 1 litre and took off again.
Well, I don't even think that would work. So I don't know if there's something wrong with the overlays there or not. But I would assume that a standard stop was always around the 9 to 12 second mark. So How you do a 0.1, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I have no idea. As we're jumping on board now, folks, looking out the back of Darren Voucher's car, as we can see Dylan Francis trying to close that gap.
Just while we were talking about those pit stops, Josh Burden actually did run wide into, I think it was turn 3, so he probably lost about maybe a second, maybe 1.5 seconds there. So that hasn't helped his positioning or track positioning on for the race. So you just got to keep it clean and see how we go.
Yeah, he definitely does. He did a 1:47.1, so he's lost a couple of seconds on Dean O'Brien, who set a 1:45.6, and he's the only one in the 1:45s. However, Dylan Shepherd also did a 1:47.3, so I don't think it cost him too much there, Chris.
No, I don't think so. And sorry to interrupt, but I think Craig Jones has just run off the track there, and he looks like his car's pretty damaged. I'm not sure what happened, but it was coming in up to that tree. Sorry, I don't know what the name of the corner is. Can we get a replay on that?
Yeah, we're on it now as we follow him through Southern Bend, coming down to Oak Tree Bend. He's coming in, yeah, he's run wide, and he's just tagged the wall on Oak Tree Bend there, Chris.
Yeah, and his steering, to say the least, is stuffed. So he's coming back in. He's coming into the pits. He'll get his quick repair because he hasn't pitted yet, but he would have definitely lost maybe 20 seconds just by damaging that car. So his race not over, but it's hurt his podium position chances.
Yeah, definitely. We're on board with Craig in the replay at the moment. And I tell you what, he is left hand down big time. That car is a handful to get back to the pits.
Way to ruin your race, hey. All it takes is one little mistake.
Yeah, and the impact wasn't that bad. He just ran off the road, and I think he was unlucky to catch that front wheel just on the... he just tagged the tyres.
I've seen harder hits than that, and the car drives straight. What do you do?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a lot to do with the angle you hit the wall in open wheelers. So having a look at our top 5 now, folks, we've got Dean O'Brien still out in front. He's now got a 14-second lead over Darren Vouch. Something must have happened. Yeah, Dylan's pitted. Darren Vouch is now second, 14 seconds down, but he's coming under pressure still by Dylan Francis in third. Fourth now is Trent Thomas, 21 seconds down. Paul Nelson is fifth. So that's our top 5. But what we need to keep an eye on, folks, is Dylan Shepherd's pitted, and so is Josh Burden. And Dylan's got an 8-second lead over Josh Burden now, Chris.
Yeah, and we also see Trent Thomas and Paul Nelson both taking their pit stops now on lap 11. So they're keeping it real, and they're pitting in 4th and 5th position at the moment. So you'd probably expect them to come out probably around the 10th, 11th place and go for goal from there. Yeah,
that's right. And I think Scott Stevens also dived into the pits as well at that stage. So we're having a...
No, you're right, Bernie. I was just going to say, I think Scott Stevens is a lap down as well. So he's out of position with these guys, and he's probably just trying to keep the car straight and finish the race.
Yeah, so the guys that are a lap down at the moment, Brad Newman's 1 lap down, Scott Stevens is 1 lap down, and Rick Burt is 2 laps down. So we're having a look now at Paul Nelson having a fantastic battle here with Andy O'Brien for 7th position, folks. So we'll stay on this because it looks like Jason Dixon has also joined this battle.
Yeah, well, Andy O'Brien's probably not up to the same pace as these 2 guys behind him, but it's definitely making the 2 guys behind him battle. And if Paul Nelson's not careful here, you'll have Jason Dixon all over him, and it might even steal a position off him.
Yeah, definitely. As we jump on board with Paul, and he's getting that toe on Andy. He's having a look on the inside now. I'd say this is going to be his corner. Side by side they go through. Oh, man.
And there you go, Jason's just slingshotted around both of them and has stolen that place off Darren, so what a move.
I reckon we'll jump back on replay on that, folks, and have a look, because we're on board with both cars, but we'll have a look at how Jason got through.
Oh, what a move!
So we have a look now, because Paul was... Oh, he threaded... How did he get through there? He threaded the needle 3 wide into roller coaster. That was an unbelievable move from Jason there.
That is overtake of Smack season. That is the best move I've seen so far. That is fantastic. I want to see more of that. Come on, guys.
Definitely want to see more of that. That was
that is risk taking at its best. But the way that these guys pulled that off and kept true to each other and understood where everyone's car was on the track all at the same time, that is brilliant racing by all 3 of those drivers.
Definitely, and if you have a look at how much gap was between each one of them, there wasn't a heck of a lot. So well done to all 3 there, because that could have really ended badly. So Jason Dixon now, after we saw that unbelievable move a lap ago, he's up to 8th now. So, yeah, definitely pass of the season in my books.
And with that lap 2, Bernie, that was Jason's fastest lap of the race. Darren's still... sorry, not Darren. Paul Nelson's keeping on his toes, but keeping within his draft, and you know, still will challenge him for a position. And don't write Paul Nelson off. Yeah, he's still in 9th position. You've got a couple of guys up the top there that might still need to pit, so he's looking good.
Definitely, as he's having a look now on the outside of... yeah, he's just past Jason. There's someone also parked on the inside on the front straight there, Chris. I'm not sure who that was. But Jason and Paul are having a great battle out here tonight. Oh
yeah, and you saw Paul had a good line, or not a line. He had a good draft coming off coming into turn 1, and he was actually in front of Jason. But Jason was actually able to keep that position, and he's holding on to it really well. This is a great battle, Bernie. I want to stick to this.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just having a look at this replay. Something very strange has happened to Brad Newman. He's just come out of the pits onto the track, and he's pulled straight over onto the side of the road and got towed back to the pit. So something very strange has happened to Brad Newman.
Not sure if he's had maybe he's had a sim failure or something wrong with his computer, because he's actually left the sim as well. So hopefully we can get more info on that. Maybe one of his teammates can help us out, or he wants to jump up into the commentary channel afterwards.
Yeah, definitely something strange has happened there. It didn't look like a car failure. There was no smoke or anything. As we see Jason Dixon now going side by side with Paul Nelson. These guys are going for it, Chris.
Oh, Jason's hit the curb. He's run wide, and that's going to let Paul through. And oh, what a battle! These guys are going toe for toe here. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I'd say that was a bit of pressure coming, showing there as we saw Jason run off the track. We'll just go back to the replay of that and have a look.
That's all you need to do as well is just bump that curb in the wrong spot, and it'll push the car over, wide of the track. And as soon as you're on the grass, you've lost a couple of seconds and potentially a couple of positions as well.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a contributing factor, but as they came over the roller coaster into that twisty part, they did bang wheels. So I'm not sure if that's caused his steering to play up a little bit.
I did see that they had a bit of a touch, but I don't think it would have affected him too much. It might have unsettled Jason as such in terms of his race line, but he's still keeping good pace in the car. It doesn't look like it's right hand down a fraction, so he's probably got a tiny bit of steering damage, but it's still driving pretty straight. I think he will definitely be challenging Paul after he gets a bit more draft coming down this straight.
Yeah, definitely. We're having a look now. Behind him is Sam Katakazinis, I think, in the white and blue car. I can't get the number, but I definitely think that's Sam. It is Sam.
Yes, and he's licking his lips. I said he'd be looking for a top 10 position here, and he's in 10th at the moment, and he's going to challenge Jason here. Gee, he's close. He might even get him on this front straight here, Bernie.
Yeah, definitely. He's having a look on the outside as they go side by side in the corner. Jason will have this corner. He just has to make sure he doesn't outbrake himself and watch out for that undercut.
Oh. He braked really late, and he actually locked the rear wheels up a tiny bit, but he managed to keep onto that, keep on the back of Paul there and not hit him, and good job by Sam as well. He had probably a moment there where he could have just tried to jump straight through, but he didn't, and he's still there right in the pack.
Definitely, and now Paul Nelson has dropped back to these guys, so they're going at it again with 5 laps to go.
We had a great battle just between 2 cars. Now we've got 3 cars.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like Scott Stevens may have retired from this race, because we've got him down waiting to come up into the commentary box. We'll bring him up soon, folks, but we'll just keep an eye on this battle as Sam now takes Jason for 9th position.
Yeah, Jason just got a little wide there onto the dirt, and that allowed Sam to come through. But Jason's going to have a look here on the outside after a bit of draft. Oh, geez, they're close.
Oh man, and Paul.
Oh, we see Paul run wide as well. And he wasn't even under pressure.
I reckon he saw those two going at it, and he just exited stage left there. All right.
So now we see the battle between Sam and Jason, and they're fighting for the same position that we saw Jason and Paul fight for only a couple laps ago.
Exactly right. As Jason goes in deep under brakes there, he had a lot better run that time through, and Sam settles at the moment in 9th, but settling probably for maybe a couple of corners, and they're going to be back in it again. We'll bring Scott up and find out exactly what occurred with him to have him retire from this race. Hi Scott, welcome to RRTV's commentary box. Looks like you had a bit of a bad run out there tonight, mate.
Good evening, gents. How are we going? Yeah, bit of a technical issues with the wheel. I don't know what's exactly going on, but just corners where you'd probably be at like maybe a 10 degree turn, maybe 20 degree. I'm having to use like 90 degree lock, and yeah, it's just not really drivable. I picked it up, I think, late in the quali, but yeah. So I don't know. I'll have to maybe see what's going on with the wheel and stuff. But it's a good race out there from what I've seen, and in team speed with Josh. A few cars off at the beginning of the race, and a few guys jumping positions and whatnot.
Yeah, a few cars off at the beginning of the race is probably an understatement. We've had cars flipping, and we've been treated to a heck of a battle here between 8th and 9th. Jason Dixon, Sam Katakazinis, and at one point Paul Nelson was in it, and we were privileged to see the pass of the season.
Yeah, nice. I'll have to go back and look at the replay on that one. I think I spent more time off on the bloody grass than I did on the black stuff tonight, but that's just the way it goes, I guess. But it does look like a good battle. I think Jason just picked up that position. Sam just picked up that position from Jason for 8th and 9th.
Yeah, that's right, he just did. And your teammate, Josh Burden, at the moment is in 3rd, and he's only 3 seconds off 2nd at this stage with 3 laps to go. So I'm not sure if he's going to have enough pace there to pull him in at this stage.
Well, he is pushing hard, and he's actually made about 0.3 of a second on Dylan in that last lap alone. So it's all on. Josh is really pushing hard. I'm not sure, Scott, I'm not sure if you're talking to him in TeamSpeak, but has he said much about the race so far?
Not really. It's been pretty quiet, which means he's generally concentrating pretty hard and just trying to keep the car on the track. And I think he had an off on the first lap around corner 4 or something, but it wasn't long off the track, so he didn't drop a heap of positions. But yeah, generally when he's quiet, he's just concentrating and head down and trying to put in some good, quick, solid laps. I probably think with 2 to go, he probably won't get the position, but you never know. Like, you can kind of, Dylan could possibly see the gap closing and try and push a little hard and come off, but yeah, I think probably laps are running out on Josh's side, to be honest.
Yeah, and just on that last lap, it actually looked like Dylan pulled another couple of tenths off Josh just as a return favour. So that might have been helped with a little bit of draft by a back runner there, Rick Summerhays. But podium position, you can't go wrong with that if you can hold it together.
Oh, that's it. I think Josh's aim from now out to the rest of the season is to solidate that 2nd spot in the championship. I think we've only got, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe 1 more round after this, or 2?
I believe it's 1 more official round. We may have a surprise round in week 13 that's yet to be announced. Don't know if I've just put my foot in it or not, but we will see how we go. And but it's 1 official more round.
Yeah, I think you just did put your foot in it, mate. As we're jumping on board with Josh now, just to finish off this lap. Scott, before we let you go, because we're down to 1 lap, you're welcome to stay if you like. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, mate?
Just the usual guys. Obviously all the team guys back at JFF Racing and Sim Racer Magazine for obviously their help throughout the season and whatnot. So yeah, just to those guys. And yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad. G&T Racing for the hosting of the series, and of course you guys at RRTV for the fantastic job through the broadcast that you do for the Australian New Zealand communities. It's just fantastic. Guys, just while I am here, I just wanted the battle for like 8th, 9th and 10th. 3 cars within not even half a second of each other. It's epic.
Yeah, they've been going like that all night there, Scott. So, Chris, we're basically on to the last lap now. Dean O'Brien will follow him around a little bit. 12-second lead, so unless something goes wrong, I think it's his race, mate.
Oh, that's right. He's got it in the bag here, and just as Scott pointed out, there's a great battle there in that 7th, 8th, 9th sort of position. But there's also a great battle between Dave Oliver and Darren Vouch for 4th position, and a fantastic battle between Chris Johnston and Paul Nelson for 11th position. So
battles all over the place.
Yes, and Chris Johnston and Paul Nelson, we've got to remember they are fighting for that championship position. So whether they're in 11th or 12th, that doesn't matter. They want to beat each other here, and they are on each other's bumpers.
Dan O'Brien just coming onto the pit straight now, guys, as well, to take the checkered flag, I believe.
Yeah, so Dean O'Brien takes the checkered flag again. A 1-2 finish for One Performance Racing tonight, with his teammate Dylan Shepherd coming home in 2nd position. Your teammate Josh Burden in the Sim Racer Star Mazda 3rd. Dave Oliver's coming home 4th, followed closely by Darren Vouch for 5th. 6th is Dylan Francis, followed closely by Trent Thomas and it looks like Jason Dixon's going to get one up here on Craig Jones for 8th position, Craig 9th. 10th is Sam Katakazinos, which has dropped off, but jumping back now, Chris Johnston and Paul Nelson. I don't know what happened there, folks. We'll try and get a replay, but they've quite a big gap.
Yeah, I think Paul Nelson had a bit of an off there coming up to that fig tree, so that probably relieved Chris Johnson a little bit of pressure, and he's come home to take that 11th position off Paul.
Yeah, we're just.
Yeah, he just got it wide as he came out onto the back straight, and probably tried to get a run out of the corner and got on the power a little bit too quick and just pushed the front end a bit there, I'd say.
Yeah, it looked like coming through Southern Bend, he had a dive on the inside and he lost a bit of momentum there. But as you said, Scott, he pretty much finished it off running wide at Oak Tree there. Wow, that was a pretty good race there for 8th, 9th and 10th, Chris.
Oh, exactly. But what a great recovery from my teammate Craig Jones. Remember, he did have that off there at the Oak Tree. Now I know what the bloody corner's called. And he pulled it back into a top 10 finish in 9th position. So great result from Craig, and a good race. I loved that. That was action packed throughout the whole race. Battles everywhere. The move of the season. Couldn't you get any better?
No, that was epic. I want to go back and watch that again and again. And for those folks, well, Scott anyway, who was racing, you definitely got to check that out, mate. All right, we'll bring Brad Newman up and we'll have a quick chat with him about that incident that occurred on the first lap, Chris.
Yeah, certainly.
Hi Brad, welcome to RRTV's commentary box. Firstly, bad luck on that first lap incident. It looked pretty bad from our point of view. What was it like from your point of view?
It's just one of them things. The track's pretty slippery on the first lap in these, and on the first corner managed to avoid Trent unfortunately having a spin, and then get to the next corner and Josh was having a spin and just missed him as well. And then as I was coming through the right-hander, I just got picked up and turned around, so I didn't really have much control of the car after that and just went straight into the wall.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy there on that first part of the lap with all the guys running off. But when you hit the wall, I first thought you might have got away with it when you pulled the car back on the track, but it looked like once you got it level, it dug into the circuit with really bad rear suspension damage.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that I could get it going again as well, but as soon as I started to drive, I knew it was no good and I had to get the tow.
Yeah, bad luck, mate. So before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
I'd just like to thank the boys from One Performance Racing, TPR Engineering and Custom Image Concepts. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, mate. So we'll see you for the final round of Star Mazda next Thursday night.
Can't wait. See you guys.
Hi Josh, welcome to RRTV's commentary box. I tell you what, mate, that you had a bit of an up and down race there tonight.
Oh, I'm not wrong. I had a ripper start, and then I just got a bit too eager on that first lap there. Had a couple of off tracks and dropped down to about 8th position, I think it was at one stage, and so yeah, I had to put my head down and just put out some good lap times and pitted reasonably early and got third in the end, so it wasn't too bad. Yeah,
it was a great recovery drive there. We noticed you pitted pretty early. Was that just to get some fresh air around you?
Yeah, it's it, just to try and, like you said, get fresh air. There's less chance of getting caught up if the people you're racing have a little incident. So, yeah, it's just what we was going to do from the word go, so it worked out all right.
Yeah, and we've got your teammate up here. So, Scott, is there anything you want to ask Josh tonight?
Yeah, mate, we were talking during the broadcast about maybe battling for that second position with the 3 to go, and the guys kind of asked about, has there been much talk on the team speak? And I said, mate, when you're quiet, you just head down concentrating. You not got a lot of practice in for this run, and are you trying to more solidate like the second spot in the championship? Is that what your aim is for now, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what it's going to have to be now, because next week I'll be away. I'll be at Phillip Island for the big historic meeting, 450 plus entries. So it'll be good. Yeah, I think I've just had a few too many bad rounds to for them drop rounds to kind of bring me up in the championship. So yeah, I think second is the best I'm going to be able to do. But yeah, no, it was a good race all season.
And you think you'll look at the series next season again if the guys run the Star Mazda again?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a great series. Big setup is awesome. It just makes the field so even. But me and Dylan were basically doing exactly the same lap times there for probably the last 5-10 laps of the race. So yeah, it's good. It's a good series.
Yeah, fantastic. Is there anything you'd like to ask Josh, Chris?
No, not at all. Great drive tonight. Started in third, finished in third. Obviously, you're definitely looking to cement that second place spot. So, good race, and all the best for next week.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
All right, I forgot to ask Josh to give a shout out to his sponsor, so he'd like to shout out to Sim Racer, I guess, Scott.
I thought you were going to do it for him then, Bertie. Yeah, it's pretty much, Sim Racer, obviously, and the boys back at the club, so he'll always chuck a shout out and a thank you to them and that, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Chris, is Dean, O'Brien and Dylan, they're teammates, aren't they?
They are, yes. They're One Performance Racing. I'd bring them both up. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. I'll bring them up. Do you want to do the interview?
Oh, no, you're right.
Welcome to, I was about to say One Performance Racing commentary box, but welcome to RRTV's commentary box, Dean. Fantastic drive tonight, dominant drive, I must say. Well-deserved win, so well done on that. But also congratulations to Dylan Shepherd. It looks like, Dylan, you've got this championship wrapped up, mate.
Yeah, thanks guys. It's pretty good to know that I'm going into the next round one step ahead of everyone. So yeah, hopefully I can just show a good result next week. And yeah, congratulations to Dean tonight. Hopefully he can put it up to second in the championship and get us a 1-2 for the whole championship overall.
Yeah, well, the way Dean was driving tonight, anything is possible. Dean, what can I say? Fantastic drive. You just led that from start to finish, mate.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. I did a bit of practice and was pretty fast then, and in qualifying put out a pretty good time, so I was feeling pretty confident going into the race. I knew all I had to do was keep it clean, and should have been able to finish the race in first.
Yeah, well, you definitely finished fast. You did your fastest lap tonight of the race was a 1:44.8, and that was faster than qualifying.
Yeah, it was about 7/10 faster than qualifying, so it's pretty stoked. I was pretty stoked with that time, and just shows how much pace we have in our cars, and hopefully we can keep it going for the next round.
Yeah, definitely, and we're just having a look at the team championships. I think you guys, this is going to stretch your lead again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I let down the team a little bit at the start of the season with a few poor finishes and a few unlucky results, but coming home strong now, and hopefully we can just keep extending that team championship and come away with the win.
Yeah, well, we're having a look at the team championships now. They've already been updated. You guys have total points of 143.5 over Mercury Sim Sports of 116.8. So I think with one round to go, that's looking pretty good for you guys to take out the team championship as well as a drivers' championship.
Yeah, look, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but it's definitely looking strong for us. Just another nice, good result next week, and yeah, hopefully the best.
Yeah, well, having a look at the Drivers' Championship now, Dylan, you have a 50-point lead over Josh Burton. We did hear from Josh earlier. He won't be attending next week, so I think you can count those chickens. But, of course, we've got drop around, but it's looking pretty good for you guys.
Yeah, look, One Performance Racing has come in really strong this season. We had a bit of a rough start, but, once we pull our heads in, we've definitely just had an awesome result, and yeah, it's pretty good feeling knowing that I've already got the championship. But yeah, look, it's been a fantastic run series by all the boys behind the scenes, and yeah, I think we'll definitely be back next season, and I'm sure the competition's just going to be even stronger next season, and hopefully we can just stay at the front.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to next season. Well, I'm looking forward to next race, actually. But before we let you guys go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout-out to?
First and foremost, we've got a new sponsor on board, TPI Engineering. They're actually helping us out a lot. Pretty much our first main sponsor. Yeah, I'd like to thank Chris Breen, the guy who runs it. He's a top bloke, and just thanks for all the help. Custom Image Concept, run by Andrew Osai. He's helping out with paint still, working hard as always. Can't thank him enough. And yeah, just all the boys at One Performance Race, and just having a positive attitude every round and just having a fun time. It's just been great.
Yeah, fantastic. It definitely looks like you guys are having a fun time out there. So thanks for coming up. We'll catch up with you guys next week, no doubt.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers, guys.
So, folks, that was Dean O'Brien and Dylan Shepherd from One Performance Racing. It looks like Dylan Shepherd pretty much has the driver championship wrapped up, and it's looking very good for One Performance Racing to wrap up the team championship, Chris.
Yes, and there's actually also a chance that Dean O'Brien may even snag Josh Burton's second position in the drivers' championship as well. So, knowing that I think it was Josh that wasn't racing next week. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah. Josh is away for the Phillip Island Historics event. So he'll be missing the round next week. Now, I'm kind of guessing that One Performance would put in some driver strategy and get Dean finishing as far up as possible.
Yeah, well, I suppose without trying to skew or force some potential results, but those guys are fast. But you still have your Paul Nelsons and your Trent Thomas and your Darren Vouchers that could also challenge them for positions. So it's definitely by all means it's not out of the question, but. Dean O'Brien currently is only sitting 14 points behind Josh Burton in the championship. So knowing that drop rounds are in play, that could play into either one of those drivers' favour. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
So is the points already sorted with the drop rounds then, or no?
No. So the current race standings are total points, and then your worst two results will be excluded at the end of the season.
Yeah, so just going through the top 10 points at the moment, guys. Dylan Shepherd has the lead at 293 points. Josh Burton is in second, 243 points. Dean O'Brien's third, 229 points. Chris Johnston's jumped up to fourth with 185 points. He's 1 point ahead of Paul Nelson at the moment. Trent Thomas is 2 points down at 182 points for 6th. Andrew Gaines 7th on 142. 8th is Brendan Howe on 129. 9th, Martin Creamers 116 points. And rounding out the top 10 is Andy O'Brien on 108 points. Okay, well, we'll bring the race organiser up here, and your teammate, Chris, is Trent Thomas, and you can do this interview.
G'day Trent, how you going?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good mate, good. Hey, you had a bit of a rough start there. It looks like you got a bit slippery on the first corner and lost a few positions. What did you make of it?
Yeah, certainly made a mess of the start, that's for sure. Even after I told the whole field, I said, hey guys, make sure that we take it easy on the first lap, it's going to be slippery. I just completely misjudged that and just ran wide onto the grass. And yeah, unfortunately, that sort of put me out of contention for the rest of the race. Had a bit of fun trying to catch up, but towards the end there, I was catching up to the guys. And just as I'd just get to their draft, I'd make a mistake and I'd have to do all the hard work all over again.
Yeah, and we actually we saw you have a couple of offs there, and it was a bit unfortunate. But what did you make of the track tonight? Did you like the track? Do you think the setup was a good choice? We saw a lot of drafting, which is great. But do you think it could have been trialled a bit differently, or do you think it was spot on?
Feedback from the drivers seemed to think that it was a pretty good set for the track. I was actually looking forward to this round, but once we got here, I just could not find any pace at all. I've had no pace at all week, so I'm quite happy to finish in the top 10. I figured I'd probably be in the top 10 towards the back, so to finish where I did, I'm pretty happy with that. But setup wise, I think, to be honest, I didn't have the time to put the testing in for each setup this week, and medium seems to be the one it's a good all-round set for long straights and corners. So, and like I said, the drivers said that they were pretty happy with it.
And next week we go to Road Atlanta. What do you think the cars will do there? It looks like the championship's already wound up. So you think it'll be a good race next week as well?
I'm hoping so. Road Atlanta is probably going to be another drafting track down that back straight towards the quick chicane there. It's got the S's as well, so downforce could be important through that section. But I think I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be like this week's race, but I'm hoping I'm back on pace again next week.
Bernie, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, not at all. I was just going to say to Trent, this series has been strong all season, so you must be pretty happy with the turnout again tonight with 22 entries.
Yeah, definitely. I think last week we actually had 27 starters. And it's new people popping up each week as well. So word seems to be getting out there that this series is around, and yeah, we're getting the interest from people to come and join and race with us.
So looking ahead to next season, are you guys planning on running this again next season?
Yes, definitely. Again, because it has been as popular as it has, it just shows that I think there's a place for this series. So we'll actually be putting a call out in the next week or so in regards to any rule changes, etc. for next year or next season. We obviously this is our first time running a series, so there's been a few things we've learnt along the way. Some things worked, some things didn't. So yeah, we'll just look at trying to improve the rules a little bit, make the racing a little bit more fun for everybody.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm definitely looking forward to next season. So before we let you go, Trent, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Just to all the team and the guys that put in the hard work behind the scenes. Chris, yourself, Andrew with the paints, etc. And yeah, all the guys that have generally sort of helped get the word out there for this series, and of course the drivers. Without them, we wouldn't even have a series in the first place.
Yeah, definitely. And having a look at our top 10 finishers, folks. First was Dean O'Brien tonight, followed by his teammate Dylan Shepherd in second. Josh Burden third. Dave Oliver had a fantastic drive, finishing in fourth position. Darren Vouch finished in fifth position. D. Francis sixth. Trent finished seventh position tonight. Jason Dixon eighth. Craig Jones ninth, and rounding out our top 10 was Sam Katakazinas. So, Chris, before we wrap this up tonight, what were your thoughts on tonight, and have you thought of driver of the race or anything like that?
Oh, put me on the spot, driver of the race. I liked a lot of moves, especially the move of the season, but I think I'd have to give it to Dean O'Brien. He was definitely too fast for anyone out there tonight, and really, finally, I suppose, showed his pace or what his potential is, and we saw that tonight. So, top drive from Dean, and a great race all round.
Yeah, definitely. I think the drive of the race would be Dean's tonight, mainly for his dominant performance and also for setting a faster lap than he qualified on. But for overtake of the season, I have to give it to Jason Dixon at this stage. For Scott and Trent, who were racing, definitely check that move out. It was it was quite a move, wasn't it, Chris?
Oh, I loved it, and then and you never know. They might be pretty humble and just say, "Oh yeah, well, in a day's work or whatever." But it looked pretty good live, and I'd love to see that again week after week. So get out there and get your racing boots on.
Yeah, definitely. And a bit of other racing news or broadcast news, folks, before we wrap this up. Sunday afternoon, we've got the second round of the Skip Barber Australian Championship. The guys are racing at Coda West. They had the second qualifying tonight. Final qualifying will be Saturday. So if you like your open wheelers, definitely tune into that. We'll be broadcasting that from 12:45 Sunday afternoon. Sunday night, if you like your GT3s, definitely come back and watch the SEK Queensland Endurance Series. It's been a fantastic series, and the guys have been putting it on every week. So we'll be proud to be broadcasting that one again this Sunday night. So, to wrap things up, you've been watching the Star Mazda Australian Championship tonight from Virginia International Raceway. On behalf of Chris Bean, Scott Stevens, I'm Bernie Wiemers, and you've been watching RRTV.